etimi hu se emra eye na adwuma.
Government, through the Ministry of Local Government and the District Assembly Common Fund, has commenced in an unprecedented initiative the construction of 90 courts with accompanying accommodation for judges across the country to help address the problem of inadequate court infrastructure. These structures are at advanced stages of completion. Government will continue to implement policies to advance the rule of law and thereby reinforce the confidence of the people and shore up our nation's reputation as a country governed by the rule of law. It should be the ambition of our generation to build a new Ghanaian civilization where the rule of law is not a slogan but an operating principle for the development of our state, where the separation of powers is real and meaningful, where public officials behave with honesty and trust, where the liberties and rights of our people are fully protected, and where law and order provide a firm basis for our social and economic development, so that the dreams of freedom and prosperity that animated the great patriots who founded our nation can find expression in our time. As we know, with the collaboration of the Ministry of Local Government and the District Assembly Common Fund, 20 townhouses and a guest house are being built to be used as permanent residences for Court of Appeal judges based in Kumasi, who will be mandated to handle the cases in the northern part of this country. I expect, God willing, that all of us gathered here will be present again very soon. I'm told within 8 months for the commissioning of this project once it is completed.
Emra Chief Justice Kwasi Enin Yabua Ekasa no kire se baby a judge for di wo muti beto ntino emprepi o man Ghana ha emma asem die kura na enko entem enti ene de pa se empanyimfo timaka wo muti apa ho a wo mu eba besi sa adan.
In recent times, the introduction of judicial reforms and the resultant need to implement various interventions to improve access to justice to the citizenry necessitated the appointment of additional judges and magistrates. Unfortunately, the availability of decent residential accommodation nationwide has resulted in a serious accommodation deficit. Presently, there is shortage of decent housing to accommodate judges and magistrates within the Kumasi metropolis, thereby posing a grave challenge to effective justice delivery. I cannot end this address without thanking His Excellency the President Otufo Asiedu II for approving this project, providing the much needed financial resources for its implementation, and for taking time off your business schedule to cut the salt for this project.
Eno echi Minister for Local Government and Rural Development onimonyamfo Dankweku Botwe Afia Asante Mantama soafo ononyamfo Simon Osemensa omunyina so kasai.
In the Local Governance Act, Section 12(2) and Section 3(8), it says a district assembly, and for that matter, metropolitan and municipal, shall exercise deliberative, legislative, and executive functions. And in 3(8) it emphasizes it shall ensure ready access to courts in the districts for the promotion of justice in the country. The ministry, in response to this agenda, is that consulting these courthouses and residents.
I know when this project is completed, at least our judges of the Court of Appeal will have decent place to put their heads. And for that matter, it will improve the level of dispensation of justice, not only in the Ashanti region, but in the country at large.
Oswafo hwa amodi ne honsem so Dr. Matthew Poku Prempe wadi aban panyimfo bi anim amma wo mo akohye se de dwumedie ekọ wo Pokuase bulk supply point project dwumedie no emom na eno no he no de adesede eto Ghana fo nyina anim se eba no anyina mkane en wadundum ne ehaw na wonya abotre aban behye watimi asa no e de ama wo.
To come here to improve the supply situation in part of Accra to strengthen the system. Where we are standing is an ECG substation, where they have even done their works already for 330 kV lines from here to Kumasi, the second phase of the project. So the project is ongoing, we haven't stopped, and I'll still believe Ghanaians to bear with us that the outages that are happening are outages that are demonstrating that we are doing the work to prevent those outages. It's not outages that we are overlooking. And like the ECG said, there's going to be a load rationing when they are actually living the station. So everybody knows that. This is not the whole national electricity wattage outage system or timetable for the whole country. This timetable for those parts of Accra and its environments that are going to be affected. And we hope that you bear with us. We are putting in the necessary investments and resources to be able to give Accra the needed voltages that we need. Accra 1950, Accra 1960, 70, 80, 90. It's not Accra 2020. The population has more than quadrupled, but we still have to put in the investment to let me and you enjoy the electricity we so now. Without energy, there's no national development. I hope. Thank you for your time.
Amanebo yesaka ekire se de nema esi ekono okọ pokwase box supply point ho no a wo mo no anyina mahode se na be ye betumi akọ na oman no obi ansa betumi aka bi ni se ntini Greek company for that to dwe kire mu se busume be rom de toso edu ekopem de etoso edu enson no dundum so ebeba enkramia hodro bi na mia hodro no eyipokwase ensawom malam gbawe achimota awoshin ene brona hodo a etwa hye ne nyina na mpanyifo kire se ne senti no ECG4 baba beye ye timetable dum so ye bedum no sabire ni aso ne sabire se de yenim dadaada no on be hyeda ayibi enche bia ewo enkran ha.
There was only one substation in Accra called the Achimota substation. At that time, the total load for Accra was about 100 megawatts. But then as Accra got growing, we had, what is it called? Inhabitants moving towards Kaswa, and the load was growing. We decided to build another substation to take care of the load because the load had grown past the 100 megawatts that Achimota was supplying to Accra, although we have expanded it to about 300 megawatts. So we built what we call the Malam substation to be the second bulk supply point for Accra. Meanwhile, Accra was still growing towards Akyere, so we had to build a third bulk supply point at Akyere called at the Tasako area, called the third bulk supply point. This area was supposed to be the fourth bulk supply point, but then it had to wait till we had built another bulk supply point at the Graphic Road called the fifth bulk supply point to supply the central business district to take some of the load from Achimota because Achimota was growing and Malam too was growing because of Kaswa, Weja, and all those places. There was the need to build this bulk supply point, and when the MIDA compact started, they were very generous to us and they decided to help us to build this bulk supply point, which is the fourth, but in actual fact, the fifth that we are building, to take some of the load from all the other bulk supply points because Accra is growing. The substations in Accra do not supply only Accra per se. They supply all the way to Akropong, all the way to Nsawam, to Weja, Kaswa, and the rest. So that is why we are having this, in order to take some of the load from the existing bulk supply points. So now Accra alone would have about 5 bulk supply points.
The suffer is 4 days. And also you refer into day and night. Sometimes you go off for the day, for 2 days, for 1 day, and then the next 2 days or so you go off at night. So it's structured in such a way that no one will suffer the entire period. So we publicize this news and also through the social media and also consistently with our church concern about as this government has already stated. If this complete.
Jumadie bi ekoso e wo Pokuase Power Substation na eno na Ghana Great Company Gridco wode anhobansem e ma Ghana fo nyina ese monka mokoma ento mo yem na hwie be July bosome e wa mu de na dwumadie no bibia akwawie kra.
There are quadruple towers. This is the first time we've had quadruple towers in Ghana. You have 4 circuits on one tower. So all those things are ready. The moment the Gridco side is ready, the contractor will hook up, and then you have power flowing to Nsawam and the rest of the areas. For COVID, we would have finished around the May that you are talking about. But because of COVID and because of disruptions to the supply chain, we've had to shift the program to the end of July because the contractor couldn't work as was supposed to be.
There are very many milestones, you know. By 31st May, we would have finished the tie-in and then we'll start the supply, but not the full capacity of this place. You understand? That's why we said that by July, August, the full complement will be completed and we would enjoy the full power from this place.
Getting completed and handed over to Gridco, that should be around July.
That's around July.
Yeah, so 2 different things. One is getting the power in here and then getting it out to Tema, to continue to Tema, because you need to link up.
Women so for no and now share kwantimpo ho nsem so nyan for kwesi amakwata e de kokobo e ma consultants ahodo a ye de women yi kwan e hye omonsa so omonhwe se sen and na se ye de ma contractor for no se womonya hwe yi esan se mpempi no consultants no aya na omotatu bonum se boom se na be omenya omo chobo ate afiri mu na no obokoko se obi bi oba se bi e bechi ni bia no kwasem ni emra ne bedu nyono wode nsem tudwa wo bra Ghana Consultancy Engineers Association ni hyiaye e won kran ha.
Wonwonya Kwasi Amakwata wono yesoyafo hwe akwane akwantempo sem so dwumadi kire se wode sa akokobon nsem we nyina no koye de ma road consultants ene wo mo ekeka ho a na edise na efata esan se empempi no ana aban ne bebo moden na wapre no wahwe se wode eye ekwatwa eho contract ede be ma eye road contractor bi afi wo so wako road consultant bi ho no makwakoje eye afutuo de afiri wo mo nchen no mo de bo ni bi ato ebo na no mo so senko betimi agye ne so eno no wo kire se be ya enka auditor general enye hwehwemu mapa enfanfa road contract bia no a wo me be ma obi bia ho
you be adwini say contracts prices are inflated, rates are inflated. It could be true, and if it's true, why nominal inflate rates, why the inflate prices, why no krana a year home ejuma politician bia and project costing or pricing is done by the technical people, civil servants for 1 year technocrats, no, owner a year costing or year estimates. Any consultants prepare tender documents. No, it's a technical job. 1 year no one advise government. And the project be you can say it is overpriced. I don't know misa technocrats, no. I won't prepare a project costing. No. I have thrown a challenge to the Auditor General. Sir, my ministry. Project be or pay the document no be mano. Now only forensic auditing. Project be is seen, sir, a overpricing. They should come out.
Ghana Consultancy Engineers Association no one president Ayura William Albert Viala.
Minister no chair say any concern about cost of road per kilometer. And ankomodim ni nyina no samuhu ya eba out say road no so mo ya cost no ye will cost before award. Na ye will cost say ya award the project now. Na ye will cost say ye project now. Na your final cost se contractor no etie ni sika ni bibia wia nti no establish say even though nkofo kasa say cost per kilometer was wrong no essay all other African countries do studies and nkofo so aye e kire say ntisa Nti no e was say you to be share sa 4 points ni nyina na ne asem na actually ye ka. Nti no eno na editu just say it was say you to me as association, you know, you form me some kind of technical committee. Now you get all the necessary data and information, you know. Now you be ba abontin nature say you can cost na ye higher a way.
Wiase nyina Ghana ne oman a etoso mienu a edua koko na yete duduro pa ekoton enso ekame ese sika yenya edifi koko mu na yekua baby we nti kwanchefo payin na odra Ghana Cocoa Board ano any processing companies ahoro ni nyina wo mo ahiem wo toto adwen apekwampa obetimi afaso na koko nsem no waka ama awie paye.
Enshemudie no ase ne Chief Executive Officer de Ghana Cocoa Board, Ora Joseph Ayedu e de afutuo koye de Ghana for say, yane ankase ye mmomode na cocoa aba no eso asonde ayaye, biti se chocolate, cocoa powder ene de akeka ho no, ye nto no man no enya sika emfa emfiri mu. Enu nti wo de afutuo koye e de momo ye cocoa ho adwuma ni nyina, se wo mfa mo ho nhye African Intercontinental Free Trade Area no emu, se ne be ya edwadie nso ensem e wo abibre mamu no, e betimi afa ne ntoma pefre ye ni enya sika.
Sa edwadie abibi mam dwadie ahye ye na omde abagana ha no yen yesusu se yebetumi anya ho mfaso kese se Ghana no ye gina ekuku no so na ye ka se ye dane ani ye dibi na ye dibi akọ abibi mam akra amama ne wate se Togo no ne ayi Burkina no ma omu nua kuku Ethiopia South Africa Morocco ne ade no ye de ko ye de kuku duane ya dane ani no te se Milo te se chocolate ne ade no ya dadan bebre ana kuku nkutu aye de sra wo de sra wo na matoso kama obi ahu ana honam da so na yenye si etunya yiwe no ma chese enche bo beba kuku na ekuafo yin ndi ekotona na chese bo na ye kotona manone no ebo abemu no ana na ekuafo nso enya ebo papa na omatuma ayero mu ayeku adwuma.
Enochi Managing Director de Cocoa Processing Company Limited Nana Ejeni Mbuate enso edensem ni bi etoso.
Africa dina kaboma 1.3 billion. Se die hudwa sika bebembe $3 billion. Na ne Cocoa Board ne processes. Yeso share se kwan ben yeso betime wuram na enya sa sika bi. Yeso hwete se Ghana ne Africa so a. Ye kaboma cocoa ayeton mama no ne raw beans ne nkwano e be 10 billion enso ye chemu ha na ye wo maduosia enso de ko se wa yam no sabi aye ne chemole efre bro mole ne sabi no e be 28 billion wo de ko ye chocolate ana se de nkwa de sra ana se de no mo a ene de 142 de no ne ba ha de aye 10 billion na se ko dru se ye di na up to 177 billion. Offer chocolate in 100 billion. Offer skincare to say the day no 70. What the yet hot beverage 7. And then you have who say young fair cocoa nenko. A quine you know befa yes so such a chef and bebum and a man Cocoa Board and CPC and the processors in Abishai.
Adishima ma UTV no siampa mukasebo ana mohwe madaroma montweme enkoto nkra